Hello, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would get on here today and just chit chat a little bit about my son Wyatt. The last time I did a video, he was still a newborn and he's now already 5 months old. He'll be 6 months actually in a week. So I thought I would do an update just to go over some of the changes and things that he's been doing lately. I really feel like he completes our family and he's such a good baby. He's the perfect mix between Sophia and Weston. Sophia was the type of baby that she always had to be moving. She never wanted to be put down. Probably colicky, or she had some sort of acid reflux or something like that, because she was just a very fussy baby. But then she's been so easy since now that she's, older. Definitely the hardest newborn and baby up until she was probably like closer to 9 months, and then she was really easy. So with Weston, he was like super easy, really chill. He was so calm. We went from being prepared with our first being really difficult to having the second, and he was so easy. And it's just funny because now that he is a toddler, he is just the craziest boy. He gets into everything. He's really ornery. He just wants to get some type of reaction out of me. The other day I was feeding Wyatt downstairs and I came out. He was being really quiet, and usually he's next to me, but I knew he was up to something because Sophia was at school and he went out in the other room and I couldn't hear him. I come out in the dining room and he has one of his dump truck toys filled with dirt, and he, from one of my plants that are on the floor, and he just like filled up and just flew with his hands. He flew the dirt out everywhere, all over his high chair, the dining room table. It got everywhere, and he was just laughing so hard. He thought it was the funniest thing. So it'll be interesting to see what Wyatt will be like, but I already do feel like he is somewhat of a mix, because at least as a baby, he's been really happy, but he's also been kind of fussy lately. But I do think that's because of his teething. He got his first 2 teeth, his bottom 2 teeth, when he was only 3.5 months, which is the record breaker for any of my kids. All of my kids have gotten teeth very young, so I think Sophia and Wesson both got their first tooth at somewhere in the 4-month area, 4 months or after, a little bit after. And Wyatt got both bottom teeth, came in, the middle 2 teeth, right at 3.5 months. And ever since then, he's been teething and getting more teeth. He now has his, one of his upper side teeth came in actually yesterday. And so the total for him right now is 6 teeth. He has 4 on the top, 2 on the bottom. So I do feel bad for him because I think he is in a lot of pain, but I've done some things at home to help him with that. He has been a pretty easy baby so far, and with him we're gonna probably start to do some type of nightly routine or try to get him more into a routine. But since the lifestyle change has been going on here at home with me, I'm not working now, I'm staying at home. Without me going to work in the day, it'll probably be a little bit easier to get him into a routine, but I am planning to start getting on that more within the next month sometime. I'm not gonna beat myself up over it, but I'm going to try to do that, just because I do think babies do need a routine. It's definitely helpful and it gets them, I don't know, I just feel like with Sophia, she was our first, we never did any type of routine with her, and it was fine because she was the only child at that time. So all of our energy and focus was on her. Then once we had Weston, it just became more important because there were then, obviously 2 kids to take care of, not just 1. We just decided that was probably the best thing to do. So I thought I would introduce him now since he just woke up. But this is Wyatt. He probably wants fed. He's probably hungry. But yeah, he'll be 6 months old next week or later this week. But he is just such a good baby. He was sleeping in the bassinet next to our bed, so we do have one of those, but he's getting a little big for it. So what we're gonna do though is we have the crib. Weston still sleeps in a crib. He has a twin bed in his room as well when he's ready for it, but he's definitely not ready yet. So we're gonna get another crib actually tomorrow and put that in his nursery. We don't really use his nursery that much, just for like changing him, because he does still sleep with us at night. He's sometimes in the bassinet next to us, but since we'll be doing the sleep training, we're probably just gonna start that sometime, after he's 6 months, because that's what we did with Weston and it worked really well. Just to go over like a couple of milestones, the day he turned 1 month old, he actually rolled over from his belly to his back, which was also the earliest out of any of my kids. So he's definitely doing things that seems like earlier than the other kids, but he also smiled the day before he turned 1 month, and he started laughing, I think around like 2.5 months, and he laughs a lot at Sophia. He thinks she's really, really funny, so she can get him to like do the really deep belly laughs, which is cute. And for sleeping's tough. Well, not now so much, but sleeping's a tough one, because I feel like the first 2 months they just eat and sleep all the time, so it's really easy. You think you need to get all these things done before they're born, but then once they're born you realize that they don't really require that much except for eating and sleeping. So when it starts to get tricky, for at least what I feel like with all of my kids, once they're I would say around 3.5 months, when they're just awake more and they're starting to need some more stimulation. And it's kind of tricky because when they're only like 3.5 months, they can't like sit up on their own. They can't do some of the things that you can do once they get to be like a little bit bigger, like he is now. So like, for instance, now he can sit in the little bumbo seat without like falling over. And that's kind of helpful because it just gives him something else to do. Like if I'm doing dishes, sometimes I'll put him in there right next to me on the counter. And then the swing, he's kind of like outgrowing that now. He's getting kind of big for it, and he gets kind of bored in there. But what else does he like? He really likes the, I'll actually take this out in the other room and show you, but I can't remember the name of it, but it's one of the things they sit in, like not an activity gym, but I'll just show you. And he does have an activity gym, which I keep that on our bed every morning when I make our bed. I put that on top of it so that if I'm in my room getting ready or doing my makeup, which I don't even do that every day now, but when I am trying to change or get ready, fold laundry, I'll put him and lay him on the activity gym, and he'll lay there. And since he started like reaching for things last month, he enjoys that because there's a little mirror, and I got it at IKEA. It's really cute. And I was just gonna show like a few recommendations after I film the update about him, but so I'll show you like the equipment that I use and the things that he likes that keep him busy. But anyways, I feel like I got sidetracked there for a minute. For sleeping, they sleep definitely really well the first couple of months. I feel like that's kind of all they do. And then the 4-month sleep regression, that is a real thing, at least for my kids. It's been real with all of them, and it's been really hard. But with the 4-month sleep regression, what is happening with your baby, instead of just being in, I think it's deep sleeps all the time, they're learning how to sleep like the lighter and the deeper sleeping that you go through at night. There's different stages of sleep, so their brain is trying to, I guess, it's just beginning to do that at that time, so at 4 months. So literally, like right when he turned 4 months, it was horrible. He was awake, like wide awake, like at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, the worst time you can possibly be awake, he would be awake. And it was just really hard. I'm so glad that's over. It lasted for, I would say, like with him, probably almost a month, at least it seemed like it. It was bad. But now that it's over, we've moved on, and he is sleeping better. I used to swaddle him. First 4 months he was swaddled, and then he kind of started like pushing out of it, and he didn't really like it anymore. So now I just bought him like one of those sleep sacks with the arms out of it instead of the arms being swaddled into it. And he seems to like that. So I also just started swaddling him again just to see, because he was kind of waking up a lot at night. So I started to swaddle him again 2 nights ago, and it actually seems to be working better. He's sleeping a little bit better at night. He does wake up, you know, pretty often to still nurse at night, probably just because he's in bed with us. But I try to start him off in the bassinet. So we'll see, though, with the sleep training how that does. But I don't know. I'm not looking forward to it. I know that once we do it, though, it'll be nice because he'll sleep better. He's definitely nursing really well. I've never had an issue with anyone of my kids with nursing, so I'm very grateful for that. They've all been done really well. Sophia nursed until she was she was 2.5, because I was pregnant with my son Weston, and my milk just stopped coming in, and it was just time anyway, so that was pretty easy to wean her. But I definitely believe in, you know, nursing as long as you can, because it's good for your baby. So that's what I try to do with all of them. And then with Weston, he nursed until I was pregnant with him. So I feel like my milk, again, it was just not coming in that much anymore. So I stopped with Weston when he was, trying to think. I remember we were on vacation, and that was like one of the last times I nursed him. And he was just a few months away from turning 2. So still, I feel like I sometimes would feel guilty that I wasn't able to do it as long with him, but it was just what my body did, and I went with it. So I can't, you know, there's nothing I could really do about it because I was pregnant. So yeah, I plan to nurse him as long as I can. As long as he wants to, I will let him. And then he is very interested in food when I'm eating. He seems to like want to reach at it and grab it. So I think that'll be fun, trying his first food next month. I think he will like it. And he definitely has enough teeth for it, so that'll be good. So yeah, that's pretty much everything with him. I'm excited to see how this first year goes with him, though. It flies by. I'm just excited for all the milestones. It's so amazing to see this little human you created just start to transform it into their own little, you know, like personality and person. It's just so exciting and so cool. And I'm so grateful that I have had 3 happy, healthy pregnancies and babies. I actually didn't make it to the hospital with him. He was born in our van, so that's another story for another time, but I'm so thankful that he, in the end, everyone was healthy, and yeah, so anyways, I will do hopefully another update again once he reaches some more milestones and once he starts changing a little bit more. But for now, I think that's pretty good, and he's probably getting hungry now, so I'm gonna go feed him. And then I'll also show you a few of the things that he enjoys. So this is the bouncer that I keep in the kitchen. So sometimes he sits in here, and he definitely has to be buckled now. But he'll sit in here if we're like in the kitchen making food and stuff like that. And then I keep this basket, which is basically overflowing. I keep this handy because if he's sitting in there, I'll just give him, you know, like a ball, or he loves to chew on this Sophie the giraffe. And then this is a teether. I got this at Target, and he really likes that. And then he really likes this. Keeps him busy for a while too, looking at this, like all the little beads in it. So I keep that in here. So those are a couple of things he likes. And then this is the Bumbo. I keep this just right next to my sink so that if I'm doing dishes or something, I can stick him in there. Okay, and then coming out into the family room. It's a really nice day here today. So the dogs are all sunbathing. But anyways, this is what I was talking about. So this is, I think, by Baby Einstein. Baby Einstein. And I can try to find a link to it, but this is what he really loves right now, because he can almost reach the little, he can almost reach like these things. And it also like has different languages, and you can do music or like colors or sounds on these things that you push. So he likes to push those, and then this thing has like beads in it he can spin, so that keeps him pretty entertained. So like in the morning, if they're doing free play in here, I'll stick him right here while Sophia and Weston play, and he seems to really enjoy that right now. And Weston just woke up, so I've got to go. But I just also wanted to show the swing. This is the baby swing we have. And he's getting a little big for it now, but it still works. He still enjoys it sometimes. Sometimes, like, if he's napping, I'll stick him in there. So that's the last thing to show. So I hope this video was helpful. And if you have any questions or anything just about anything in general, leave those below and I would be happy to answer those. And I will be back hopefully very soon. Bye.